first lap then in Q1. Hopefully we can set a good banker. Obviously, I really do like Vegas, so particularly the first sector. I think it's a really nice and flowing part of the lap, and the last couple corners as well. As we go up to the line, round the final corner, it's going to be a 1:33.9, and that's going to put us P4. And by the end of the session, 6 seconds is the gap, and I had no idea about this previously. Drugovich was in P8, I knew that, but I had no idea that the track was raining until my engineer, as you can hear, just told me. So the rain came a lot earlier than anyone expected, I think. Good thing we went out early. Drugovich, P8 is through to Q2. P8, come on Felipe. Is this the start of a weekend for Felipe Drugovich, where he might finally be able to put some points on the board for us? I hope so. And Lewis Hamilton, in his penultimate race in Formula 1, as he's retiring at the end of the season, is out in Q1, along with Fernando Alonso and Lance Stroll, so both Aston Martins out while both RTG Sports are through. Is it possible that we can make a comeback for P4 in the Constructors? We're going to find out. But as now we come around the final corner on these intermediates, the track is soaking wet. I'm surprised it's not full wets, to be honest. I'm going to come up to the line. I believe the track is due to dry, but I can't really see it drying from here. Can you? It's going to be P6 for us at Q2 after our first laps. But we are going to go again. As you can see, the track a lot drier as we head through turn 1. And that lap, really good lap, 1.7 seconds gained. And we're going to go round the final corner to shoot with a purple last sector up into P1 for Q2. But where it matters is Q3, which I am buzzing for. We look like we have good pace. I don't know how long the rain's supposed to last, but we have great pace on these intermediates. 3.5 tenths faster than Lando Norris in Q2. And I didn't mention this before, Logan Sargent also did make it through to Q2, but both him and Felipe Drugovich out in the second part of qualifying. Still, I think that's Drugovich's second best qualifying performance of the season. I believe he had a better one in Imola where he started P13, but I'm not quite sure. It's now second lap actually in Q3. First lap was on Inters, the track was still drying, but this lap is the one where it's all going to count. We were P5 at the moment, but those laps do not matter. It's a one-shot quali for this session on the slick tyres as we head through and the first DRS, so DRS activated and we're already 2 seconds up, but we only be able to measure against is our previous time, which is not very accurate considering we were on a slower tyre in wetter conditions. As we come around this lovely corner, brake, turn in, little chicane, flick the steering wheel, bit of oversteer, not ideal, but you barely get on throttle there, so it's going to be very difficult in the race with tyre wear. That little tricky section there, purple in the first sector. We're 9 tenths up on Pierre Gasly, who we are currently P10 at the moment, as expected. As we head onto the Vegas strip, go a bit deep there, not ideal. But now the Vegas strip with DRS, we're going to reach top speeds of around 213, I feel, maybe even more, 215, 16, 220 miles per hour on this strip, and we're 1.1 seconds up on Pierre Gasly. Are we going to go for a shock front row maybe even, the front row, maybe P3 I'd be happy with as we come up to the line, round the final corner. It's going to be a 1:36.6 purple in the final sector, succeeding track limits, and we're on pole! We've got pole position!
Yes!
But, it's not going to count. We've got that penalty, haven't we?
No!
For 5 seconds, for 5 glorious seconds, I was ready to celebrate pole by 1.3 seconds. Oh, that was almost brilliant. 1.2 seconds to Carlos Sainz Verstappen, P5. So the championship leader not doing very well, but I was about to celebrate a shock pole position. But let's see what we can make up.
Tonight we go racing around the bright lights of Las Vegas, 3.8 miles under the Nevada night sky and thousands of neon lights. There are landmarks everywhere you look, punctuating the 17 corners and 2 DRS zones. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. An immense lap from Carlos Sainz yesterday puts him in pole position, and starting next to them is George Russell. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Verstappen, Iceman, Gasly, Oscar Piastri, Norris, Bottas, Joe, Tsunoda, Albon, Drugovich, Sargent, Perez, Hamilton, Hulkenberg, Fernando Alonso, Ricciardo, Ocon, Magnussen, and Lance Stroll brings the grid to a close. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head down the trackside for today's race. Anthony Davidson joins me again for today's race. They've been involved in a number of costly incidents lately, and that's got to affect their mindset going into this race.
Certainly confidence is an important factor, and every time you're involved in an incident, it's not just the car you damage, but that confidence as well. And all the top racing drivers are able to tune that out when the race gets underway and focus on the job at hand.
So then, no encouraging words from Mark, because after that pole position I was very, very excited, but it's going to be P5 for us, as we are not the only ones taking a penalty. The strategy, we're going to go on the medium tyres to begin with, and maybe finish on the soft tyres for that extra bit of pace, going for the overcut and being faster towards the end of the race. As we start the formation lap, then everyone else around us on the soft tyres. So that is going to be very, very interesting going forwards and seeing how those tyres perform and for how long they can perform. And when will we start getting that grip as we line up? 0.2 meters is the gap, as now Leclerc ahead of us, Russell directly in front of us to our left, Carlos Sainz a car ahead of us in P1, Verstappen right to our left, starting alongside us as we go to 5 red lights for the first ever Las Vegas Grand Prix. It's lights out, and away we go. Verstappen, not the best start. Russell going around the outside, Sainz immediately goes to cover him off, but Leclerc going around the outside, Sainz has held up Russell, and Leclerc's made it Ferrari 1-2, but can he hold it? Yes, he can, and we're going to follow him through up into P3, P5 to P3 within a couple corners. That's a brilliant start from us. And Max Verstappen going up into P4 is an awful start for George Russell. Worst possible start he could have wanted as we head through turn 6, I believe, and onto this flowing corner. Yellow flags behind us. I think that's just because of a car pile up, the concertina effect, but Leclerc already 1.2 seconds ahead, but he's on the faster compound. Sainz, the pole sitter, leading in P1, also in on the medium tyres. So that's going to be very, very interesting to see whether they battle for P1, which I think they are ahead as Leclerc goes for the move, but we're not focused on him. We're focused on Max Verstappen on our inside. We're deploying loads of ERS. It's not even the end of lap 1. And we've already used half our battery as we do keep the position just. And Leclerc, has he got the move done? No, he hasn't quite got the move done on the Ferrari, on his fellow teammate of Carlos Sainz just yet. But maybe into turn 1, can he do it? But I'm deploying so much ERS to try and stay within DRS of them to protect me when it is enabled. And we are down into single digits on lap 2 as Leclerc, this time, has he got a bit more on Carlos Sainz? Yes, he has, but he's compromised himself as we take advantage of that, and we're up into P2. What a move! And Carlos Sainz now just ahead in P1. I'm going to deploy all the remaining bits of my ERS to go into literally 0% to go try and go round the outside of Carlos Sainz for P1. We've done it. We've done it. The Ferraris scrapping with each other have allowed us to go into P1, but Sainz thinks about a switchback, and now he'll have DRS down this straight, I am sure. And then on the strip, surely he'll overtake us. We have no ERS to defend, but we are ahead at the end of the first DRS zone. Somehow we have made our way up into P1 from P5, but now it's up to us to defend. We've done the first parts, but there are many parts to this job, and one of them is to not make mistakes like that. Going deep has allowed Sainz back into place. He goes for the move on the inside. We're going to try and hold it round the outside, get the better exit. We're going wheel to wheel. We'll be on the inside now. I checked my car for damage. We look like we tapped the wall a bit there. No damage, but we do shove Sainz out, and Leclerc now overtakes Sainz. But is that ideal for us? Because that means that the soft tyre runner is directly behind us instead of two cars behind us. So we'll have a faster car chasing us. And as you can see, Leclerc going for the move on us on the strip. We're going to squeeze him and just not let him have any room whatsoever on the outside. Deploying all our remaining ERS that we gained on that lap down into 5% it was, I believe. But we do stay ahead, and again, a little tap on the wall. Just checking my car, no damage, and I do not want damage. This is the most crucial race of our season so far, as we, down the straight we go. Carlos Sainz, Max Verstappen, Charles Leclerc all want that P1 position. We're going to defend to the inside of Charles Leclerc and keep the position again. This is just exactly what we need to be doing. Exactly, just defending, using the ERS on the straight, nowhere else, and just keeping the position. And we are slowly gaining ERS as lap 5, going for the move. 2 Ferraris on our outside. They can't go wide like that. But is that Carlos Sainz? Sainz gone for the move on the inside of us. Hopped the curb a bit there. We almost crashed into him. Had to back off. So Leclerc couldn't get a move on us either. But Verstappen, because of Leclerc being compromised, has lost the position as Sainz sends it down the inside on the Vegas Strip, but he's gone too early. He's gone too early. We're behind in the DRS zone. Carlos Sainz about to lose about 5 or 6 positions at this rate. We've got DRS. We pass him back into P1, but there goes Max Verstappen up into P2. Leclerc, they're all crowding around Carlos Sainz trying to get that position. Russell's overtaken him up into P3. Leclerc's overtaken him up into P4. And Russell and Leclerc now going for the move. And on lap 8, I call it, I'm pitting. I crossed the barrier there. I didn't pit normally. You'll notice I'm going onto the hards. I thought we'd better just do what everyone else is doing and prevent the undercut from happening. We actually grew a bit of a gap towards the end of the races. No, we have an issue. Oh, has that cost us? Has that cost us? No, it hasn't. That was so close.
That one there was a violation. Personally, I wouldn't have.
Imagine if that lost position, we lost the race because of that. Thank God we built up about a 2-second gap there, and that has come in absolutely clutch, because as you can see, we come around the final corner now. Leclerc 0.3 seconds behind us as we come into turn 1, and we are ahead of Carlos Sainz and Oscar Piastri, who's made his way up the order. Fair play. But Leclerc is all over our rear, and he's going for the move on lap 10. Up into P1, and Verstappen also senses an opportunity and going for the move up into P2 now. But we have ERS and we do defend. But Verstappen sends it on Leclerc and he's crashed. They've crashed. Verstappen and Leclerc have crashed and we squeezed through. Wow, that was one brave overtake. Verstappen made contact with Leclerc. We seem to have damaged our tyres a bit there, but Verstappen broke late, made contact with Leclerc. We made a switch back and just managed to slip through between the Verstappen and the wall and up into P1 again. But will it last? That move certainly is worthy of a race win, if I do say so myself. But Verstappen, with ERS, going for the move on us. We are doing all in our powers just to keep the position. And Verstappen has overtaken us. We couldn't defend from the 2-time world champion. Will he become a 3-time world champion today? He's on course to do so as we go down the inside, re-overtake him, and up into P1 again. This is a mega scrap we're having with the Red Bulls and the Ferraris around us. And now lap 12, Piastri in P3 going for the move on the inside, but Verstappen on the outside going for the move. This is going to be a copycat of what happened a couple of laps ago. We have to go deep because I could see that from a mile back. Piastri making braking deep there. But we do somehow do exactly the same thing, but slip through only one car, not both of them. But now we do re-overtake Verstappen with much more overspeed and up into P1 as we start lap 13. A couple more laps to go until that taste of first place champagne. A couple more laps for our first race win, but Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri look fast in their McLarens. Norris set the fastest lap of the race. Piastri going for the move on us. And George Russell now has overtaken him as he's been so compromised. So maybe it's Russell. Maybe it's Russell, as you can see, the virtual safety car is now out. And Russell pit under the VSC. I don't know what he's playing at, but now the VSC is ending. Lando Norris right on our tail, and it's ended at the worst possible time. Norris is right on our back as we start the DRS zone, the Vegas Strip. Nothing we can do as he just powers past us. He's going to have the ERS as well. And the DRS. Verstappen. No, not Verstappen. Where's Verstappen gone? I have no idea. Perez going for the move. Sonoda up in P5. It's an all very jiggered order. So we brake later than Norris, but has he got the position sorted? It looks like he has on the inside, but can we come back round the outside? Yes, we can. And we overtake him up into P1, but he's still there on our mirrors on the inside. Is he going to come back at us? Yes, he is. Lando Norris. Into turn 1 we go. We're level pegging with the McLaren. We're going trying to hold it round the outside, but we just can't do it. Can we go for a switchback though? We'll still on the outside line. And we go deep, just leave him the space. But we have overtaken him, but he's come back at us. He's come back at us. He's done a switchback on us himself, while we're trying to do a switchback on him. As we go, we're having a brilliant battle with Norris here. The whole first sector, we're just having an immense scrap. And we do go hold it round the outside, but it's not over yet because Lando Norris still trying to hold it round the outside. He's done it, but now we're on the inside. We're having a brilliant battle with Norris as we head, and then we finish sector 1. Norris has spun! Norris has spun it! Norris has spun it! Norris has spun it! And what's happened? Look at this! Felipe Drugovich behind. He's heading to the incident now, and all the cars. This would be a red flag, but because it's the last lap of the race, Drugovich has overtaken so many cars and he's up into P4. Norris's pit. Oh my word, we've now been gifted an 2.93 second lead over Sergio Perez, who's got damage to his front wing. Drugovich in P4, Norris spinning, and Drugovich is in P4. What is happening in this last lap of Vegas? We're going to end up finishing this race in P1. We're going to get our first win. Carlos Sainz in P2, but can Drugovich, who's up in P3 because Perez pit, can he get that first podium? He's done it. He's doing it. Felipe Drugovich going for the move. Let's watch that. Drugovich gaining on Sainz. He's going for it. For Drugovich going for the move on Carlos Sainz. He's up into P2. Oh my word. We're going to bring home a 1-2 for the RTG Alpha. Drugovich placed his car absolutely beautifully. I apologise for the video, but we're going to come home. We're going to win the race. We're going to get our first race win in Formula 1. And it's a 1-2 for Felipe Drugovich.
We just won the race.
Drugovich P15 to P2. He's placed his car perfectly. I still can't believe Norris spun and broke Perez's front wing.
And our drivers have pushed themselves to years of racing in history. They can only be world champion, however, and here they are now, our new Formula One World Drivers Champion. And as they take the checkered flag, the fans go wild. They broke the bank in Las Vegas. The strip has been conquered. Well, Anthony Davidson, a resounding victory today, but what set them apart from the rest?
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
Here comes your top three making their way down to the podium for what can only be described as a fantastic day for Formula One. Let's see how the drivers' standings have changed. And this also means there's no catching our leader anymore. And we crown a new World Drivers' Champion. So, actually,
Max Verstappen then winning his third World Championship here in 2023. It looked like he might have lost the grip on it, but we are not talking about that. We are talking about the 1-2 for RTG Sports, Felipe Drugovich, who hasn't scored a point all season, has only gone and finished P2. The virtual safety car, by the way, was for Oscar Piastri out the race. But Felipe Drugovich, P14 now with one race directly behind Pierre Gasly. And could this mean in the constructors, are we going to see a last race showdown versus Aston Martin? We've gained, where there's now only a 4-point difference from a 40 previously at the start of this episode. As now we have a chassis department event afterwards. I don't really care about that, to be honest, because we have just brought home a 1-2. I still can't get my head around it. I genuinely cannot. But guys, if you have enjoyed this part of my F1 23 My Team career mode, I certainly had so much fun driving it, especially those last couple of laps in Vegas. Do make sure to like and subscribe, it helps out so much. And I'll see you guys next time for the finale. It's the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. See you guys then. Goodbye.